Hey everyone, this is Ben. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at a bunch of Fender accessories I got off their website this week. Alright, first up we're going to be looking at the Fender Fatfinger. I paid about 20 bucks for this. Now this is marketed as a sustain enhancer, so I'm going to try this on a few different guitars and see how it does. I've noticed this thing for a few years now, and it's always been something that I've been curious about, so I'm going to get to the bottom of it. All right, let's get into this. So the Fatfinger says, instantly add more sustain and awe-inspiring tone to your instrument with the Fender Fatfinger. By clamping the Fatfinger on the headstock of your instrument, no tools needed, it will enhance the overall tone and note-to-note response of any electric or acoustic guitar or bass. Interesting. On one hand, it says it enhances your sustain, but then on the back side of the card, it says it enhances your tone and your note-to-note response. So I guess we'll just mess around and see. I'll play something normally and we'll see how that sounds. Let's try this. It's got a little bit of a cushion here that seems decent. This one I don't know how much I trust. That is a tiny little gel. I'm gonna put that on the back side in case it does scratch. The Fatfinger is applied. Try the Fatfinger on a different guitar. This is an SG, which is a much shorter scale. Well, not much. The neck is attached to the body instead of being bolted on, and kind of just a different feel. All right, a little dirt, no Fatfinger now. And with the Fatfinger, right over the logo. What do you got to say about that, Gibson? Next up, we've got the Fender Infinity Locks Straplock system. I paid $23 for these. I did a pretty decent in-depth review of a bunch of different strap locks earlier in the year. I'll put a link for that in the description as well as up here. We'll see how this compares to those as well as my favorite strap lock system. All right, let's check it out. Wow, they really sealed this thing shut. This thing's like Fort Knox. Good Lord. Okay, wow, these are not outrageously big, but they're bigger than I thought. It's kind of like the Schallers in the sense that that goes into your guitar, which is pretty self-explanatory. Then this is just two buttons there on the sides, and you pinch them and it'll loosen those little balls there. Hey-o. Pinch, attach it, let go. There you have it, straps installed. That was pretty quick. I did that in real time, and I think that probably took less than 5 minutes. I can tell you right off the bat, I don't like this. There's a lot of play in there. Everything's tightened up as much as it can get, but that is really unfortunate. And I know when the guitar's resting against the weight of itself, it's not gonna move, but also look at how far that sticks out. That's another problem that I have with kind of all these strap locks is, I mean, an inch out there on the front and the back, but I digress. Let's play. Fine. All right, now I'm going to try this guitar against my favorite Straplock system, which is just a plain old locket strap. Now the locket strap has this built-in mechanism. You pull it and it opens up that, and then it closes in on it and locks it. And what I like about this is you can use this on the standard strap buttons that come on any guitar. That's pretty impressive. I mean, that's all the breakover angles. You can use it on Schaller locks. I bet you anything I can use it on just this Fender nub that's sticking out there from the new Straplock. Also, why did I pick that color? Secure, close to the body. I like that. Nothing's jiggling or jingling around. All right, next up is something new that popped up. I think Fender just came out with this. It's the Amperstand. This ran me about $15, but I think that's an introductory price and it normally goes for around $20. Now this is kind of a gimmicky item. It's supposed to turn any tabletop ledge or amp into like a guitar rest or cable rest. I don't know, we're gonna get into it right now, let's see. I'm really curious about this thing, and it looked kind of useful and also like something that maybe I would play around with once and then realize I don't really need it. Directions: remove the protective film that covers the microsuction material. That would be this back side here. You can see it's very reflective. Ooh, look at that. This looks exactly like the bridge cavity thing or whatever on the Telecaster. Or maybe I'm just making that up. This one just looks like nothing. All right, that goes inside there, creating this sort of shape. And then the instructions say,
push down for 10 seconds on surface, lean your guitar against the cradle, and you're all set.
All right. That seems like 10 seconds. What I've seen online is they rest the cable like this, and you can see there's little cutouts here for that. That seems cool. And then you just sort of take your guitar and you just sort of lean it there, huh? I mean, it's not as glued in there as I would think. 10 seconds on surface. It's not a carefree solution. It definitely requires a little bit of attention. One thing I did see is they had an open beer on that little cup holder cubby thing on the top. I'm not that crazy, so I'm going to use a sealed beer and we'll see how that goes. I mean, it gets close. It would definitely knock that over, even just a slight miscalculation. Let's try it with a pint glass, an empty one. This is a general pint glass that you'll find. I wouldn't trust that. It occurred to me, it could be, you know, this is a Gibson and the neck does generally have an angle back. Let me try it with the Fender. It fares a little bit better. Let's say you're doing band practice. You go up and you grab a drink, and you come back and you set it down. I mean, you're gonna probably do that, and then you're done, boop. All right, I'm not completely satisfied with that test. Let's try a kitchen table and see how it fares there. Put it on the surface, we press for 10 seconds. And we take our guitar, and we lean against it. Woo! I should also tell you guys the floor here is like a faux tile kind of thing, so it doesn't really have as much grip, I'm sure, as a carpet. Okay, I think I've got enough on the Amperstand. Let's move on. All right, and last up we've got the Fender Musician Earplugs. This cost me about $8, and they're supposed to be washable, reusable for gigging. We'll get into this right now and see how it is. These have up to 35 decibels of sound reduction. I'm going to compare them against these classic $3 thrift store earplugs. Not entirely the same thing. These seem to be more designed for like the gigging musician maybe. Let's see what it says here. Now these you can wash with soapy water, it says, and use them in perpetuity, I guess. Using one hand, reach overhead and gently lift ear up as shown to expand the ear canal. With the other hand, insert the rounded end of the earplug. Press on the inserter using a forward up and down motion. Wow. Well, they certainly dampen the noise. Let's try these regular plugs now. Give them about 20 seconds to boop. Never figured that out. All right, let's wrap this up. The Fatfinger was interesting. It's hard to know if I really heard anything different or not, or if it was in my head. I played with it obviously more than what was on camera, and at times I felt like, oh, this is adding something, and then there was other times where maybe just my playing was a little bit different. It's really hard to get an idea, but you know, for 20 bucks, I'm definitely willing to try it out some more and see if I get anything more out of it. So I don't know, I'm on the fence about this one. Regarding the infinity locks, I wasn't really even a big fan of those, to be honest with you. They were just kind of goofy, they were big, I mean, they hung out quite a bit. I didn't like how loose they felt. You know, it's like whenever you feel something that loose on a strap especially, it gives you like this thought, like, oh, something's about to break or not work. So I didn't really like that, and I didn't see that they were much of an improvement over Schaller strap locks. Sorry, Fender, these ones didn't really hit the mark for me. All right, the Amperstand, this was a unique thing. I kind of liked it, but say you're in a band and you go to somebody's house to practice, you're gonna bring either a stand or your case, and you'll probably just set your guitar in that. It's a convenient thing to have around, but outside of that, I don't really see this as being something that I would use on a day-to-day basis. I guess it's a smaller footprint than a stand, but jury's out on this one. All right, and last up was these, the Fender Musicians Earplugs. I actually like these quite a bit. I know they're more designed for a gigging musician at a club or something like that, but I thought they work really good, and they're really good at keeping the clarity without overall muffling the sound. You know, like the little foam ones, you put them in your ears and everything kind of sounds like this, and it really cuts the highs and just makes everything muddy. These were really good at just taking the level, bringing it down to, well, I think it says minus 35 decibels, which is great. You know, it's not the same amount of clarity as if you didn't have them in, but it's way closer than many other earplugs that I've used. I went to Metallica last night, wore them through the whole show, and this morning I have zero ringing in my ears, which is saying something because it was a loud show. I know they have the string connecting them together, but I actually also like that because it makes it really easy to remove them. When I was a kid, there was this other student in my class, I think it was science class or something like that, and he shoved one of those foam ones in his ear too far, and they had to send him to the nurse's office to get it tweezed out. Ever since then, I've been afraid, like, is that too far in my ear or what? So this kind of alleviates that concern. Overall, I would definitely recommend these. I think for $8, it's a good deal. They work great. All right, guys, thanks for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button. Please subscribe. I will put links for all these items in the description, and I guess that's it. I will talk to you next time.